Hi everyone, I am going to explain about statistical process control. So the name itself says that it is like a application of statistical methods to monitor and to control the process and to ensure that it is operating in its full potential, and we have produced a good product, a quality product that has been like predicted using this statistical methods. So we have 7 tools that are Pareto diagram, process flow diagram, cause and effect diagram, check sheets, histogram, scatter diagram and control charts. So first we shall see about Pareto diagram. Pareto diagram, it means like it's a graphical representation of the problems. For example, they will be like making a graph with respect to most frequently used product and least frequency of the product, like in the descending order, that is from left to right. They will make a diagram, and that will illustrates the faults, like how frequently the fault is being occurred. And it is said that Pareto's laws is that in almost every case 80% of the total problems incurred are caused by 20% of problem cause types, such as people, machine, parts, process and other factors. Like, see, they are saying that 80% of the problems are caused by 20% of cause types, means based on the people, like how what they want, or the machines what we are using for making the product, everything will together, in every case it like predicting the faults, right? So by concentrating on the problems, we can eliminate the, like by concentrating more on the faults, we can eliminate the faults first, means we can able to predict some possible solution for that problem, and finally we can make a fault-less product. That is the objective of this Pareto diagram. So what they are trying to say is we need to find out the mistake first by and some methods they are just using, like we shall see the examples. So here you can see that they have taken one example. For example, they have taken defective items at one site, and the number of defectives at that particular process, and the number of inspected percent of defects, and the percent distribution of defectives. Like they have classified with respect to that, and they have formed a graph, right? So they are concentrating more on number of defective parts. So in the defective parts, how much percentage is actually more, like it has more faults or more defective, that is to be indicated with respect to percentage. And that percentage, like they are drawing in descending order. Descending order means like more frequent fault to less frequent fault, and finally the fault is being found and it is being sorted out. That is the that is the motive of Pareto diagram. And the next one is process flow diagram. So it is said as PFD. So it is used in the engineering level, general flow of process and equipment. It is like a general diagram. So that will show the relationship between major equipments, and it will show, it doesn't show very minor products and all. It is like a general process flow, and minor things like piping details and the designations of small minor machines will not be described over this diagram. So we have like many products and services will be there. So with respect to that major plants, a process flow diagram will be framed, and for that how many services required and how the operations are, what are the faults the people working there are facing, and how the product comes, and who is our next customer, like this questions and all will be raised over here. And that improvements will be they will be making an improvement for changing or reducing the eliminating the major defective items. So we can see the process flow diagram here. So for example, they have taken telephone, fax, letter. So all together they are logging in, and you can see for how they are checking, and what are the contracts made over the company, and like inventory check and schedule production, like everything is mentioned here. This is like a general flow type, general what the company will be following. But here you, the major disadvantage of using this particular process flow diagram is like you cannot get for smaller items, like you will not be you will not be like it will not be brought to your notice. That is the major disadvantage. And the next one is cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagram is like what are the major causes, because of that, like for example a fishbone diagram will be drawn. For in that fishbone diagram, like what are the causes that will be in one side, and the effects will be in other side, in the right and left it will be categorized. So I will show right like cause and effect diagram. See, this a fishbone diagram they will be drawing, and finally they like problem will be mentioned in one side, and like they will categorize into left side, right side. What are the equipments and what are the materials should be used, what are the process should be followed, what is the environment to for that process for carrying out, and what the people thinks about, and what the management react. So everything will be categorized in a fishbone diagram. At right side one particular set of problems, and at left side another set of problems, and finally what is the solution I have made. So this is called cause and effect diagram. And next one is check sheet. So we already aware that check sheet means it's like collecting all the real time datas, and you can see all the datas will be checked, and one by one, like for example in particular like one by one it will be checked, and if it is over, the process is over, it will be cancelled and another process will be checked. So the data is read by like the data is checked one by one. That is the objective of check sheet. So here is one simple check sheet. So that is divided into different regions, and a marks, you can observe marks made over the different region, means that is like they have categorized, they have solved that issue. And next one is histogram. Histogram is also is like more or less like a graphical representation only. It's like similar to the bar charts. A group of data will be collected. A histogram means a data series will be made. For example, here you, in this diagram you can say that you can see like histogram, like graphical bar charts. Okay, so from 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to like that, they have categorized till 80. And how much the, like at another side, how many people are using it, and like they will categorize the, like with respect to the statistics. So this particular age people, how much this product will be used by, like how much percentage they will be used, this will be founded using this histogram. And next one is scatter diagram. Scatter diagram is a tool for analyzing the different variable. Like for example, they will be plotting one axis. So here you can see a negative non-linear, positive and linear, and negative and linear, and no relationship. Like that they will categorize into different groups, and they will just for from like in the x-axis they will plot any one quantity or the age of the people, and on vertical axis they will plot how many products have been used, like that. And finally they will make one simple graphical diagram, like how we do in the graph, one simple normal graph. So using that, most often this diagram looks very scattered. So using this only they will approve or disapprove a product. And next one is control charts. So it is like yes, control charts consist of three particular limits. One is lower control limit, upper control limit, control limit. In that they will make a chart, and with respect to the product and the number of people using, or with respect to time, they will make a diagram, and how much it has reached the upper control limit or lower control, that will be taken into consideration. So this itself says that whether our product is in controlled limit, or it crossing, or it comes between, like below. So this will be noted over here. So for example, weight, height, speed, volume, this and all they will be using for making that X chart. For X chart, they are like it deals with the average value in the process.